And welcome to another episode of Lads of the Past. And yes, we've got a lovely, lovely episode today. We're going to be talking about 80s movies, but before we do, I'm joined with Brendano.
How are we doing, Liam, pal? Robbo, how are we getting on, brother?
All good,
good, mate. How are you?
All good. And we're joined with Robbo.
Looking forward to this one. Can't beat a good old film day. Let's do it.
I thought a nice little Sunday afternoon chat. So I don't know what day or time you're listening to this episode, but I just thought a nice, good old chat about 80s movies. And we're going to learn a lot. This could be a two-part, depending on how long it goes. But we're just going to sit back, enjoy it, and talk about our childhood 80s movies. So Bren's got his hand up. What does that mean, Bren?
Yeah, I'm just going to say, before we get into it, anybody who's listened to our old music podcast, we picked our best songs, this was as hard. Like when you look back at all the movies that you've watched and you love from the 80s, then you try to whittle them down to your top fives or whatever. It's an impossible task, mate, at times. But I've managed to do it, but it was stressful.
I agree. It was absolutely solid. I mean, I tell you what, it was the drama one that got me. There were so many films in the 80s that I was just like, oh my God, action as well. So we've got, for everybody, we've got our top 5 of all time. So this is going to be our top, but that's at the end. Top 5 of all time. But then we're going to do our top 5 comedies, top 5 drama, top 5 sports, top 5 action. And then we're going to go into what are our favourites. So what were our top 5 all time 80s. So we're going to start with, we'll start with drama because drama's boring. I mean, before we go into it, you've got to find out what the highest grossing films were as well. So we're going to find out what the highest grossing films were in the 80s for drama. So, Robbo, let's start with you. What is your first... We'll start from 5, going up to 1 on every list. So what is your top 5 drama?
I'll tell you what, you couldn't have picked a worse starting subject for me. I don't watch dramas at all. I mean, these were stuff that probably I watched with my mother. There were one, I remember she watched The Accused. I don't know if any of you guys watched that.
Yeah, that's rough. That's a tough watch, that is.
I've never watched The Accused. What's The Accused?
Don't watch it.
Yeah, it's crap. It's
not crap. It's a fantastic film.
It's a legal drama.
Oh, okay.
It's crap.
It's about Jodie Foster who gets raped by loads of men in the back of a pub, basically. Yeah, and they all take turns on her. And
Jesus.
then basically it's a courtroom drama then of how she was like asking for it, the way she was dressed and dancing about and stuff and shit like
Correct. I see you're a fan of that film.
Mental.
Yeah, I just remember it, mate. I remember it like my mum watched it, and it's just harrowing, you know, when you see scenes like that in films and stuff. But it's a great film. I think it won awards. I think
won a lot of awards. Best drama.
It's a tough watch.
It won Oscar for best drama. So yeah.
Yeah, tough watch.
And the next one.
I don't know if you can class it as a drama.
Yeah.
But Scarface.
It's a drama.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a drama, yeah. Straight up. It's not a comedy or, you know.
It's hard though, isn't it? Because you can put Scarface in gangster film. I don't know. I'll just love that film. I mean,
yeah, but gangster films are dramas, aren't they?
I'd say that.
Yeah, Scarface, great one. Great one, actually. Fantastic little choice.
I'm gonna call this one because a lot of people are not going to say it's a drama, but it is. Full Metal Jacket from 1987.
It's a drama. It's a war film, but it's still a drama.
It's a drama, mate. One of my favourite films of all time.
God, another choice. I missed that off my list. Jesus. All right, what's the next one?
Did anyone ever watch the film Black Rain from 1989?
Amazing film. Flipping out.
Japanese drama, mate.
Balls this up. Proper balls this up. No, my God, that's amazing. I can't believe those. I've missed all of them off. Didn't even... Like, this is why this list was tough. Like, this is full-on tough. What's the next one?
And then probably my favourite film ever by Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman, Rain Man.
Great film. What a film.
That is a strong 5 for drama.
Oh, mate, that's fantastic. I mean, Rain Man, when I first watched it, I didn't really understand the autism, and it wasn't around at the time in the 80s. It was quite new to people, autism. And Rain Man actually brought it out to everybody. Rain Man's like a massive Massive film in so many perspectives. It's what a great film. Good list that. Here's my list though. So we'll go. I mean, I don't know if you guys you've probably heard of most of these, but Some Kind of Wonderful. Number 5, bet you've never heard of that. So it's a teen film where a guy falls in love with it's a brilliant film. And it's one of like the to me one of the best. Like, and he falls in love with obviously the girl at school, and he's the nerd at school, and she actually falls out with a boyfriend, and she actually turns around to piss her boyfriend off. Says, "I tell you what, I'll go on a date with you." So she goes on this date with this nerd, and everyone at school's bullying him and laughing at him, so she's going to fob him off. And they tell you what, he spends all his college money. He does everything to make this perfect night for her. Right, absolute perfect night for this woman he's fell in love with. And so instead of her laughing at this date and whatever, she actually falls in love with this guy. Like, oh my god, this guy's amazing. He knows everything about me, and it just the drama's just amazing, and it's so clever that like she actually turns around and starts falling in love, and then he realizes, you know, I don't love you, like I love someone else. But it's brilliant. It was so clever, and it was a really, really good film. So Some Kind of Wonderful. I think it was John Hughes as well, so a good film. Number 4, The Breakfast Club.
I knew that would be in there for you.
Yeah, big.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I'm a bit of a. I mean, I'm not into like, you know, I love Scarface and stuff like that, but I do like my like 80s kids teen stuff because I was a kid then. Do you know what I mean? So, but this one isn't. Cocktail.
Great film.
Awesome film.
What a film. I mean, I loved Cocktail. I've seen it about 50, 60 times easy without even batting an eyelid. I think I watched it the other week. It's just such an easy watch. Great film. Tom Cruise is the best film in my opinion as well.
Before I become an arsehole.
Yeah. Fucking brilliant. Number 2, St. Elmo's Fire.
Awesome film.
Great drama. Great film.
Completely
Emotional film as well. Do you know what I mean? Quite emotional. And I can't believe you missed this off your list though, Robbo. It's Stand By Me, number 1. Brilliant film. Absolutely brilliant film. And
yeah, awesome film.
I watched it the other day, and every time I watch it, I cry. Every time I see it, I cry. And just a fantastic film. So, but yeah. Bren, what's your top 5 dramas?
Yeah, number 5, it was like, because obviously we've only got these categories, so you have to try and, yeah, that's a drama. Do you know what I mean? Kind of pull things in.
Yeah.
One thing. Number 5 for me was The Lost Boys.
Awesome film. It's an horror though, but you know.
It's a drama. I would say it's a drama as well.
Yeah, I would say it's that's a tough one, isn't it? You could also say it's a comedy.
It's a
in a weird way. In a weird way, you could say it's a lot of things.
It's got dramatic scenes in it, so I'm calling it a drama, and I was not leaving it out because we've not got a horror list. So
yeah,
we're not doing horror.
We might have one in the future, but for today's episode, no. So I put The Lost Boys in at 5.
I tell you what. No, I tell you what. At the end, we'll stick in a horror. So have a think about your horrors, boys. Yeah,
I could do that. Yeah,
yeah. So
number 4 was Gorillas in the Mist.
Awesome.
Wow. Just another miss.
Forgot that existed.
Yeah, I used to love watching that when I was growing up. You know, Sigourney Weaver in the jungle about the gorillas getting killed for their skin or whatever, the oils out of them or whatever. But yeah, I used to love watching that. Really good watch. Number 3, same as Robbo, Full Metal Jacket.
Brilliant film.
Great film.
I tell you what, it's still to this day fucking brilliant to watch. Like it is a brilliant watch, and it's amazing.
What's the general's name in it? His scenes with Private Pile and stuff are just unbelievably good.
Those
Staff Sergeant.
Yeah.
The
things with that. Those two at the start of the film is probably in my opinion, probably one of the greatest cinematic scenes in history. Like by a long shot, nothing can compare to anything like that at the moment. Like in any war film, there is nothing like that.
Great.
The thing that made it so special is he had lines, but because he was an ex-drill sergeant anyway in the forces, he just did his own thing and they just let him.
Yeah.
They were all just straight off the top of his head.
You steaming pile of amphibian shit.
Yeah, number 2, mate, was another one that Robert mentioned, Scarface.
Right,
just loved watching that growing up. Great film.
You can still watch that though, can't you? All day.
Yeah, Al Pacino
just great
in that is unreal. Just brilliant. Just shows he's a great actor. One of my favourite actors. And then number 1.
It's a modern film. It's still a modern film.
And they need to re-release it on remastered PS5 or something. Um, yeah, number one was always going to be my number one drama film. It's probably in my top 5 films of all time across
Well,
all
we're not
genres.
mentioning that, but yeah, but we're not mentioning that yet.
No, but it's
don't mention
yeah, but
don't mention your top
it's,
film.
it's going to Stand By Me was number one. Just fucking
All
love it.
day
I
long,
forgot it were even there. To be honest with you,
mate.
boys.
All day long. Stand By Me is for like I can't express how fantastic that film was and is. And you watch it. Every person I've shown it to just loves the film. Every person cries at the film. Everybody connects with one of those characters. Everybody, and the famous saying right at the end of the Stephen King book and the film is, "You'll never have better friends than you did when you was 12 years old."
Yeah,
and it's right, completely right. And then like the ending bit as well, where they're saying like you know like Teddy and Teddy and Vern, where they say like they just became another faces in the halls, and that's what happens with kids and friendship and stuff. Like I've got friends who, when I was a kid, like Daniel Featherston and David Baker, I know every day I hung out with them, and then all of a sudden I've not spoken to them since then.
Yeah,
but they were my best mates when I was 12.
Yeah, man.
And I've not spoken to him since. It's weird, but
that is true.
Yeah, you connect with it. Yeah, great one. So the top 5 grossing dramas of the 80s was An Officer and a Gentleman, number 5. Yeah, it's a good film. Not my cup of tea. Yeah. Terms of Endearment.
My mum loved that.
These are all mum films. It appears. Steel Magnolias. Good film, but just not.
I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
It's not. It's good. It's not, to me. It's not the best. St. Elmo's Fire, number 2, and number 1, which none of us have mentioned, is E.T.
It's not a drama. It's a children's film.
Yeah, I mean,
no, it's not. It's a drama.
That's
drama.
in my children's films for a reason.
I would put that definitely in the children's category, to be honest. But it's got dramatic scenes, hasn't it? This is what we're talking about, really.
Exactly. So yeah, they were the top grossing dramas. So the
modern 80s.
Yeah, well, mate, I loved it. So we're going to go into sports. So I'm trying to get the bit of the boring ones out of the way. So we'll go into sports. Brendan, I'll tell you what, you can start with sports.
Yeah, no worries, mate. There wasn't. I expected to find more. I already knew like what I was going in there, but I thought, right, let's have a little Google, see what it's about. But there wasn't much about, and my 5 was said. So number 5 was Escape to Victory, 1981. Set in World War II, Germany versus Europe, and it's a football match. It's got Pele in it. It's got Bobby Moore in it. You know what more? Everyone's seen it. Great film. Number 4 was Field of Dreams, Kevin Costner with the baseball, where he built the baseball pitch, whatever you want to call it, in his cornfield.
Mate, what a film! Like it's
film.
a sad film, but beautiful as well.
Loved it.
Yeah, and still lives up to its name.
Number 3 was Bloodsport.
Wow. Yeah.
I think it was the film that got me into like the Van Damme era. I think.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it's fantastic.
And it's pretty much what we said about a few other films. You can still watch it to this day. It's not aged or it's still, if it's on and you've got a spare hour and a half, whatever, you can watch it.
100%.
Number 2, Rocky 4.
Easy.
East meets West.
Off my list.
Rocky versus Dolph Lundgren.
He's made of iron.
Yeah. It's got a good soundtrack, good film. Rocky into it. And number 1, Rocky 3.
Really?
Yeah,
Rocky 3 over Rocky 4.
Wow.
Nah, mate.
100%,
That's
mate.
a big call.
I love Mr. T in it, mate. Clubber Lang. I love Mr. T in Rocky 3. Hey, woman. You know what I mean? And I love the Rocky films. Well, I love Rocky 1, 2, 3, and 4. All the others I can skip by, but yeah, Rocky 3, number 1, quite easy for me. And yeah, that's it, really.
Amazing. So, Robbo, what's your sports?
I'm going to start with probably the cheesiest sports film ever, and you'll have forgotten it probably exists. Sylvester Stallone in Over the Top, 1987.
Yeah, good film.
Arm wrestling.
Yeah, great film.
Another one, it's more of a kid's film, but I love it. The Karate Kid at number 4.
Karate Kid. Can't beat the Karate Kid. All day long. I had figures and everything. I even wore a headband at one point.
Number 3, Michael J. Fox in Teen Wolf.
Nice. Good call. Good call.
2, All Day Long, Bloodsport.
All day long.
One of the best martial art films ever made. And then Mr. Rocky 4 at number 1. Bosh.
Yeah.
Slime editing twice.
I think that it's gonna be the same for every bloke. But I see a woman's perspective. But I mean, mine is number 5 is No Retreat, No Surrender. That was a wicked kickboxing film. Absolutely amazing. Days of Thunder coming in at number 4. That was a good film as well. Really enjoyed that. It's so good. Rocky 4, number 3, because Rocky 4 was just. I mean, how good was it? I mean, it was perfect. Like out of all the Rockies, it was just perfect. The soundtrack, the action, the angle, everything about that film was just spot on. There's nothing wrong with it. It's brilliant. Over the Top at number 2, which I loved it.
I can't believe it's up there for you. I think it's an amazing film.
I
Everyone
loved
slags it off.
Everyone does. Like, it's Laura Driver's arm wrestling. Like, so what? It's wicked. It's so good. And my number 1's Bloodsport. It's I watched it really, really young. I remember I went into junior school and I did a paper. Not you could call it a paper. And it was like, oh yeah, I'm in Bloodsport, and I used nunchuckers to. I wrote this fucking whole thing saying that I was in this competition called Bloodsport, and I was in infant school, and I wrote it in infant school. So my parents got called in, like, is Liam part of this Bloodsport thing?
No,
honestly. So the top 5 grossing sporting films was Victory at number 5. Not a good film. I didn't like it. No Retreat, No Surrender, number 4. All the Right Moves. What? No, that's a shit film. Karate Kid, number 2, and Rocky 4, number 1. So yeah. So there you go. Simple as that. So we're going to go on to sports. But I mean, the sports ones, they were like films. I think Rudy was in the 90s. I'm not sure, but they had some. Was it? Yeah, Rudy was a good film. That's what
early 90s, wasn't it?
Oh, okay. So yeah, I was looking at Rudy because that was a great film. But again, it was quite difficult. There's
the one that people forget about, Bruce's Millions, was technically a sport film.
Why was it?
He was a baseball player, wasn't he?
He was a baseball player.
But it's a comedy all day long.
It is a comedy, yeah. I'm not having that.
Sports film. If you look at it, it's under the sports section. Honestly,
really, no, I'm not having that. Right, we're going to go to the next one. So we are going to do children's and horror. So make sure you guys have got your children and horror, because we didn't say that at the beginning. So we've still got those categories. But so while you guys are still having to think about that one, we're going to go straight into action. Now this was fucking tough. Like, I am not joking. Like, I struggled with this. So mine, like, honestly, I hated this. There's so many, but number 5, Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, awesome film.
Like, mate, I am obsessed with Conan, and I loved all the Conan films, and I watch them still. I mean, I'm big into fantasy, but Conan did it so well. Absolutely loved it. Mad Max at number 4.
Oh, yes.
I mean, Mad Max at number 4 was just. I mean, it deserves to be there. Mad Max, all the ones with Mel Gibson in. I mean, all the Mad Maxes are brilliant. But they set the scene in the 80s to pull off what they did was just incredible. Number 3 is Batman. You know, Jack Nicholson, the best Batman out of all of them, I think. Out of every Batman all the way up till now, I think the first one is still the Jack Nicholson Joker's brilliant. Number 2, Running Man.
Yes.
Running Man is. I can't really say too much about Running Man because it's perfect. That's it. It is perfect. And number 1, I've got Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. Good action film.
Good list.
Right, Star Wars: Empire Strikes Back. I wasn't a fan of Return of the Jedi. A New Hope was 77. So I wasn't really a fan of the New Hope, to be honest. But I like the bad guys. I mean, I always root for bad guys, like the Joker, and I'm a big bad guy. So yeah, Empire Strike Back. So Bren.
Yeah, so totally different list, really, Liam. To be honest,
Really?
yeah, completely different. I don't think we've got one film that's duplicated. I mean, Robert might have a couple of these, but I'm not sure. Number 5 was Top Gun.
Wow. Okay.
It was one of the first videos I ever rented from a video shop. Top Gun.
I wasn't a fan. I tell you what. There is a reason why my dad wasn't a fan of Top Gun, and he was saying it's again. This is I do apologise to anyone who's listening, but he was saying it is a homosexual film, so he wouldn't allow us to do it and watch it because back in the day it was weird, wasn't it? The homosexuality wasn't the norm like it is towards now. And he refused to watch Top Gun because he was saying that like this story is between what's the bad guy? What's his bad
Iceman.
Him and the Iceman are basically like you see them with the tops off posing at each other, and my dad believed that the story was about those two falling in love. And then when you watch it, when I was a bit old, because I didn't understand that when I was a kid, but when I rewatched it, I was like, he's got a point. he's got a point.
People are still going on about that now today, though. About this.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's a lot. You get seen it.
There's a lot of controversy with that film. Yeah. And a lot of conspiracy theories. Oh, they're in love, and they were just trying to impress each other. Yeah, I've heard them all.
I didn't know that. Yeah, but so yeah, to me it wasn't big in my house, but I love the theme tune. I can't say but I wasn't allowed to watch it.
Yeah, so coming in number 4 was Arnie with Commando.
Great film.
Yes,
loved it. Loved it. Brilliant film. Give
me one quote, Brent.
I'll be back, Bennett.
You know when I said
John, I'll be waiting, John.
What is it? Let off some steam.
Bennett, let off some steam, Bennett. Yeah.
Is that when he throws the pipe in his belly?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Brilliant.
Love it.
But yeah, so that was number 4. Coming in at 3 was Rambo: First Blood.
Wow.
Really? Loved it, mate.
I don't know.
I love the film, mate.
Rambo. Was it Rambo 3 was the best? I think.
No, number 1 was the best. Way it was a vagrant, and obviously the copper didn't like his look. Like get out my town kind of thing. And it was like, who are you to tell me? Do you know what I mean? And then there's a big vendetta against him. I loved it, mate. I loved it.
Yeah, it was cool.
Proper early 80s kind of vibe to it and stuff.
It wasn't badass though, wasn't he?
Yeah, Rocky. What was it called? Rocky. Sylvester Stallone coming back from Nam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All about that. Number 2 was Lethal Weapon. Love Lethal Weapon 1, 2, and 3.
Wow,
absolutely loved it.
Some film Mel Gibson with a man.
Yeah. I still watch it today.
Yeah,
still watch it today, mate. I've got the box sets and stuff. Absolutely love Lethal Weapon. And then number 1 was Arnie again with the Terminator.
Yeah. Oh my god, how did I miss that off? That was a good film. That was a
great film.
Good. Yeah,
it was dark. Like compared to Terminator 2, it wasn't actually dark, but Terminator 1 was.
He was scary though, wasn't he? In Terminator 1, he was a scary character. Yeah, when you like the bit when he's in the hospital and he just kicks the door and it's like dum 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 dum. You're like, oh my fucking god!
When he goes into the cop shop and just fucking destroys everyone in there and stuff. You know what I mean? It's just it was a dark Terminator. I mean, Terminator 2. We'll talk about that another day. But yeah, loved the edgy angle of Terminator 1. Loved it. So that's my 5.
Yeah, perfect. Robbo.
I'm gonna have to. Between you said all of my 5, but luckily I've got quite a big list of action films I enjoyed. So to make it a bit more fun, I'm just going to include these in and say the same ones over and over. We'll start with Beverly Hills Cop 2, amazing film.
Yeah. Can you do do you know the theme? I think everyone knows the theme.
The Axl Rose. Well, yeah, because Crazy Frog made it famous.
Yeah. I only watched that for.
I mean, a lot of people class it as a comedy, but it had a lot of action scenes in it. So why shouldn't it be an action film?
Yeah, it's great. It's an action film.
Amazing one with Patrick Swayze. A lot of people forgot about this film, Red Dawn.
Oh, that's a really good call. God, I forgot about that film. I thought he was going to say Roadhouse. I was like, shit, I've missed Roadhouse off.
That's what's coming next. You've just hit it. Coming next, Roadhouse. Roadhouse kick, yeah. They remade it last year, but it'll never be up to the original Roadhouse, 1989. Just made it in the 80s. Amazing film. He's been there twice. And then we're going to go easy peasy. The Running Man. Cannot miss it off with Arnie Schwarzenegger.
Mate,
probably one of the first ones my mum and dad let me watch on my own.
I did get freaked out at one point of Running Man. Do you know when Arnold Schwarzenegger dies and you watch it and that spike goes through him and you're just like, oh my God, he's dead. And then obviously he's alive. It's just all part of the film. But that was the first time ever in my life that I saw the hero die. And it messed with me. Do you know what I mean?
One for me were when they went into that little arena and that guy's with the electricity and the bike. And he's electrocuting everybody. Yeah, it's weird. It's a very weird film, but I loved it.
It's a scary film. To be put in that situation, like, it was scary, and but no one's ever done anything like that. So it deserves to be in the top 5 of any list by a long shot. So top 5 action grossing films.
Hang on, I've not finished. One to go, brother. Got one to go.
Okay.
Big Trouble in Little China. No one's mentioned that boy with Kurt Russell.
Yeah, I watched that yesterday.
Amazing film.
Great film.
No matter how old it gets, it's an amazing film.
I mean, I've got the tank top. Like, obviously I can't wear it because I look like Jim Royal, but I've got the tank top. Like, I mean, at one point I'm going to get fit and healthy and look like him, and then I'm going to go out and dress. But I love the tank top, and I loved it. I loved that film. It's just there's so many better films. But it was great though. It was perfect. Like, there's too many. There's too many. How many
times will you go back and watch it?
I mean, you can watch it all day. Like, you can watch it all day.
So why does that not make it a great film then?
I don't know. This is the thing. With the thing was with the 80s and the action films. I mean, the comedy one's even harder. And they were just the 80s films. You rewatch them. Like, if you watch modern films, they're quite good to rewatch, but they're not like comfortable like with the 80s. They are. I mean, how many times have you watched Uncle Buck or Home Alone or
amazing?
Do you know what I mean? I don't know if Home Alone's 80s. I think that was 90s, but do you know what I mean? Like these films that are just Gremlins and just loads. So anyway, top
and the problem is that none of you have mentioned Indiana Jones. He probably owned the 80s.
Yeah.
But I'm not a massive. I've seen them all, but I'm not a massive fan of Indiana Jones. I'm just not.
What?
Yeah,
the films are amazing.
I'm just not.
I loved them. And the reason I haven't mentioned them is because the new ones were kind of ruined it for me. And now
that's why I thought they get mentioned.
Yeah,
because the newest ones are crap.
They're really bad. And it's kind of taken me away. And this is what I think what I wanted to get across actually today was these remakes that are coming out, like the Goonies that are getting remade, and all these other films that no one's got any ideas now for new films. No one's, well, people are too scared to make. Yeah, they brand it. Like, what do you call it? Branding or franchising films.
I mean, this is probably where I come across a bit weird because you guys will definitely know. But when was like Indiana Jones films released? Like what year was it? Early 80s?
1984, 87.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's earlier than that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nah, can't be.
Yeah, they're earlier than that. 1981.
Wow.
I mean, you guys were watching Indiana Jones. I was watching Scarface, shit like that.
Yeah.
Just dead weird like that, me.
81, 84, and 87.
Hey.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's a bit, I was a bit weird, strange. But
it's different. I mean, I now look at your guys' list and then you look at mine. I think fucking I was a bit of a nerd. But I didn't realise I was a nerd until not long ago. I
didn't find out until I was 36-year-old.
It's like me. It's like me, Liam. I mean, I don't know what's your boy's opinion on it. I love A New Hope. I love Empire Strikes Back, and I watch Return of the Jedi. But all this stuff that's coming out now, I just can't get on board with. I don't know if it's because I don't know if it's just because I enjoyed them.
One Star Wars.
I mean, I go to the cinema every time Star Wars is released. I always do, and I always get the first ticket, and I'm always the first one there. I've done it since I can remember because my dad did it for me when I was for the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and I've watched them all except for New Hope. No, I've seen A New Hope in the cinema, but I've not watched it when it was released. So I've done that, but only out of respect from my past. But yeah, it's just all the new stuff's just rubbish, and I've got a feeling they're going to try. But the Indiana Jones, I mean, I one of them, I can't remember the latest one. I turned it off halfway. I was like, I can't watch it. This is terrible. And then I was like, no. And then the next day, I was like, I'll finish it because I paid for it, so I'll finish it. And it was so bad that I won't even watch anymore. And it's done. The series is done. For me, anyway. But the top grossing films are number 5, Batman.
Awesome
Number 4, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Star Wars, Return of the Jedi. Number 3.
Never heard of it.
Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. And
Never heard of it.
And again, coming in with the call it action. It's not action. It's saying it's E.T.
It's not an action film. Where's action in it?
No.
It's on a BMX going in the sky. That's action.
Suppose he gets chased by the FBI. It's kind of a little bit of action. There is quite, to be honest, there is quite a lot, but it's not like blowing cars up. So it's kind of defining.
It's not commando action, though, is it?
No.
Again, I'm not.
Steve Bennett.
I mean,
No,
again,
exactly.
though, the Goonies or E.T. Goonies all day long. E.T.'s boring.
I liked E.T. I liked it. It wasn't the best, and it's not in my top 5, but it was. Yeah, it was good. So we're going to go on to children's films. I know we're all excited to do the children's film.
Call them family films.
Yeah, so Robert, you could start us on from this one. So top 10 children in the 80s films.
Start strong. Number 5, Never Ending Story.
Wow, good film. Great film.
Everyone wants to ride a magic dragon, let's be honest. Number 4, amazing film, Labyrinth.
Wow.
David Bowie plays an absolute amazing role in that.
Mate, I'm obsessed with the Labyrinth. I mean, like I went to Milton Keynes.
Film.
I went to Milton Keynes to see Ludo. Like the original puppet from the film is it's in Milton Keynes. So if anyone's not been, if you want to touch the actual Ludo that was in the Labyrinth, it's there. The actual puppet.
Ludo, man.
Mate, like I've seen that Ludo, and I can't believe I saw Ludo. Like I can't believe it.
Mate.
I can't believe it. Like how have they got Ludo to Milton Keynes? So yeah, great. Sorry.
No, you're good, man. Number 3, easy one for me, The Goonies. It's got everything in a film on it for a young
All
kid.
day long.
Number 2, I'm going Back to the Future.
Amazing.
And probably my favourite film of the 80s. I could watch it again and again and again. I've mentioned it a few times. The Flight of the Navigator. Bosh, 1986. Amazing film.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely.
Who doesn't want to fly a UFO round Earth?
No, exactly. And Flight of the Navigator, again, it's something you can sit down with your kids and watch, and it's just incredible. And to be honest, that's literally every single one on my list, bar one. So,
And me.
yeah,
And me, bar one.
bar one. Okay, Bren, what are yours then? What's yours?
I'm gonna say it, but I'm gonna add a couple in like Robbo did with the. My number 5 was Flight of the Navigator. Robbo had that.
What a film!
Number 4 was Big. Tom Hanks.
Wow! I missed Big.
Loved watching that growing up. I loved it. Yeah.
Film. I forgot about
Number 3 was The Karate Kid. I put that down as a kids' film, not a sports film.
Yeah.
Number 2, Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Fucking love the series.
Who doesn't?
All 3 of them.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. And then my number 1 was the Goonies, but I did put a couple of honourables for kids because obviously it was our era growing up.
Yeah.
I had Short Circuit 1 and 2.
Hey, great.
Johnny Five.
Johnny Five. Great films.
I had Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And then I had Inner Space.
You mean Brendan and Hendersons?
Yeah, you got it. You fucking know it.
Nearly went a full episode without calling me now.
I know. Brendan and the Brendersons.
Yeah, you got it. And I don't know if you guys remember the Dennis Quaid and Martin Short.
I know.
Inner Space. Fucking brilliant film.
Where he goes inside his mouth and he's flying around.
Yeah.
Great film.
Absolute quality. Yeah, so obviously I kind of knew that us 3 would have the same kind of kids. But you can't, like an episode out of this, you can't leave kids' films out of it, man.
No, exactly. And mine literally are the same as you guys. Again, Goonies, Never Ending Story, Back to the Future, and The Flight of the Navigator. I did have the different one I had was Bill and Ted. I loved
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
Bill and Ted. Like, I was
Bogus
obsessed.
Adventure.
I even dressed like Bill. Like, I was obsessed with Bill and Ted. Yeah. And I did that. Like, we used to do it at school. So when the teacher turned around, we went, "Pew."
Can you remember the band name?
Yeah. Wild Stallions. Come on, mate. Like, mate, I'm obsessed. I could answer anything. So I tell you what, who are the two scientists in Bogus Journey? Station. There you go. Can you remember that? I'm obsessed. I can, yeah. I did a Bill and Ted quiz once, and yeah, like it was just, yeah.
Smashed it.
Oh, I loved it. But there is some honourable entrants, like Batteries Not Included.
Good film.
So no one mentioned that. Great.
Spaceballs.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. 1989. 1989.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah. Ferris Bueller's, yeah. Flipping heck. Explorers. Can you remember Explorers? River Phoenix and Ethan Hawke. You gotta kick yourselves when you see that. The Boy Who Could Fly. Amazing film. National Lampoons.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, and one of the greatest films that I can't believe. I really wanted to put it on there, but Willow. Willow was 1988. Can you believe that?
Well, that was massive, wasn't it?
Oh, it was brilliant.
He's only about 4'7".
Yeah,
Yee!
but it's hundreds. There's hundreds. So we'll go to the top grossing kids films. So that is, where are we? Top grossing kids films. Now I'm impressed with some of the. Oh, this is animated. But can you remember the film Akira? Not many people would. But Akira was a film that was. I thought there's not many people who would know what the film Akira was, and it's one of the most clever films I've ever witnessed or seen in my life. It's about a bunch of orphans who get tested on by scientists, and they get these powers, and the scientists try and control him. But there's one that it's and it's all about using your brain. Do you know what I say? If you use your brain, you can teleport and whatnot. If you use so much, we only use so much percentage of our brains, and we can do all sorts if we did. His film channeled into that, and this Akira, you could use 100% of his brain, and because it was that powerful, he would just blow up and kill everything because he just could control. He would fuck up the universe. So the film is about them trapping. Akira is trapped. And it's about these orphans who, one of them, is Tetsuo and Kaneda. Kaneda is one that was caught, but Tetsuo can't control his mind, and he's slowly going towards 100%. So he's trying to free Akira, and Kaneda tries to stop him. And it's a fucking genius. And I didn't realise it was so big, but it was number 6 in the highest grossing kids films. And I'm so happy that I saw that.
I've seen it. I might have to give that a go.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Really good. Akira, one of the first animations ever made. So yeah, anyway, I could talk all day about Akira. So number 5 was Big.
Big.
Yeah, Big. Number 4, Flight of the Navigator. Got to kick yourselves for this one, boys. Number 3 was Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Probably biggest film I watched as a child. They always put it on in my house. Shut me up.
Back to the Future. Back to the Future was number 2. So Back to the Future Part 2, 1989 was number 2, and number 1 was the Goonies.
Wow.
But Goonies was just outstanding. There's nothing in the world that could beat the fucking Goonies. But
I watched it last weekend on Netflix.
It's brilliant. It's so good. Yeah. It's so good. And just to give a little bit of an extra list. So this is top animated. So we had Akira at number 6, The Fox and the Hound at number 5, The Land Before Time at number 4, An American Tale. Remember that? Yeah, American Tale number 3.
Papa, Fievel, Papa. Fievel.
There are no cats in America, and the streets are full of cheese. And then Oliver and Company and The Little Mermaid at number 1. That's mad. That is Little Mermaid was number 1. So yeah, they're the top grossing children's. The last 2 subjects we are. But before we go to that, we're going to go into our. This is end of part 1. So thank you very much for everybody who's listened. Go straight into part 2 and listen to our top listings of 80s films of our lives. I'll see you next episode, lads.
Peace.
Take care.
Little
And it's.